But if I
But
got
you
somebody-
will cheat. You will cheat.
Hey, look, everybody keeps saying I'm cheating for no reason.
Good. Nice composure, good. Two underneath when he leans on you. Don't give him time. That's it.
Terence Crawford visited Anthony Joshua's training camp ahead of the Jake Paul fight, sparking excitement in the boxing world. He spent time observing Joshua's sessions closely. Their interaction shows how seriously Joshua is taking his preparation, bringing in top talent to push his performance. Having a pound-for-pound star around adds focus and energy as fight night gets closer.
Good. Good. Nice composure, good. Two underneath when he leans on you. Don't give him time.
Anthony Joshua is always looking for new insights and advice from every fighter he meets, learning from all styles. He enjoys taking in different perspectives and uses those lessons to improve his own approach. This mindset keeps him growing stronger and more well-rounded with each training camp.
That saying, a happy fighter is a good fighter. And each individual, you know, uses different things and finds out different ways to keep them occupied and keep them happy. And for me, it was just like...
Joshua puts himself through tough workouts designed to strengthen his body and sharpen his reflexes. He relies on ice baths to reduce inflammation and recover faster, so he can attack each session at full intensity. After recovery, he jumps into demanding drills that test his power, speed, and focus. Every part of this routine shows his commitment to training at the highest level. Combat sports analyst Wade Plemons has a strong opinion on how Joshua should approach Jake Paul. He says this isn't a fight to feel out or stretch for entertainment. Wade believes Joshua should act decisively and finish the fight early, without letting it drag on. His reasoning is simple: a heavyweight of Joshua's caliber cannot risk giving Jake extra time in the ring. Prolonging the fight could create unnecessary questions and damage his reputation. Wade insists Joshua must set the tone from the first bell, using his size, experience, and power advantage to secure a quick win.
Which I think could be a little bit of a feeling out first round for AJ too, then Jake wins to me. And I know that sounds like, oh, but it's true, bro. AJ shouldn't be going rounds with Jake. He just shouldn't. That's a two-time world champion. You know what I'm saying?
Olympic gold medalist,
gold medalist, two-time world champion. You shouldn't be going rounds with Jake. Jake hasn't fought anybody in, I mean, I don't know where they currently rank Tommy Fury, but he hasn't fought anybody in the top 50 in any weight division he's participated in. Mm-hmm. So if that guy's going 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds with you, cooked. But I think if you're putting money on it, I would say AJ round 3 maybe.
Yeah, I'd say
2 or 3.
2 or 3.
Everybody's kind of jumping on the AJ round 2, and I'm like, you know, Jake's tough. Could he use his feet for a little bit longer than people imagine? Is it going to be tougher for AJ to land on him early, maybe? But I think at a certain point, you know, the cat corrals the mouse a little bit. But we'll see, dude. Who knows? Jake's got some good guys in camp. He brought in Lawrence Okoli. Mm-hmm. Big Lawrence Okoli now, too. Did you see him?
Well, I remember being in Dubai like 3 years ago. Do you remember 3 years ago when we were, commentated, for Deji vs. Merva. And funny enough, from that fight week, Jake Paul went and hung out and went shooting of AJ. Yeah. I think like laser tag of AJ. Yeah. 3 years ago on the same week.
Wild. That entire week now is like coming to full fruition. It was here in Dubai. It was Jake on commentary. First time I had met Jake. Talking shit to Tommy Fury. Lawrence Okoli was on commentary with me, and I was like, how are you a cruiserweight? Because at that time he was still a cruiserweight. And I was like, how the fuck are you a cruiserweight? You're massive. And sure enough, now he's like 265-pound heavyweight. He's way too big, by the way. But he's got Lawrence in camp. He's got Jared Anderson in camp, what's supposed to have been our...
Joshua's camp for the Jake Paul fight is very different from his usual preparations. Known for structured routines, strict planning, and controlled sparring, Joshua has shifted to a more intense, fast-paced approach this time. The changes show he isn't taking Jake lightly and is treating this fight with full seriousness. Joshua recently revealed his weight at around 110 kilograms, or roughly 243 pounds, which caught attention. While he normally maintains a stable weight, This time he shed about 20 pounds in a short period, raising concerns. At his mid-30s, losing weight quickly is tougher, affecting strength, recovery, hydration, and performance. The cut shows how committed he is to preparing for Jake Paul, but it also carries risk. Dropping weight could improve speed but might reduce some of the natural power and presence he's known for. Joshua appears to be finding a balance, lighter for movement but still strong enough to remain dangerous.
But fundamentally, you're still living life as normal. You're not restricting yourself that much. You know, if you're eating 2 pieces of chicken, maybe you just eat a piece. You see what I mean? You're not going to the extreme to try and actually dehydrate yourself or anything like that. It's very different than having to actually hit a specific weight, all right? And to do that in a relatively short space of time, because this fight's, you know, not that long has it been announced, and it's not that long until the fight. It's only 2 weeks away. Eddie Hearn was talking about AJ weighing 265 a couple of days ago. So you're thinking, okay, 20 pounds in 3 weeks? That's not ideal for someone who, again, is in their mid to late 30s, a year in activity, and crucially has never had to hit a specific weight throughout the course of his career. Never had to do it. All right. So it did have me kind of worrying a little bit and thinking, is this a miscalculation, accepting that? Because in terms of him fighting Jake Paul, he's going to win. I mean, there's no ifs about it. He's going to win this fight. It's pretty much a given. All right. But it did have me wondering. Now, AJ, as I said, he took to his social media accounts to show that he's currently weighing 110.6 kg, which is around about 243 US pounds. So that's well under the weight limit. So a lot of people are saying, slam dunk, it's done. Well, I got a few questions on that, because you do have to ask these questions. You're talking about Anthony Joshua, who over the course of the last, 3 years has been solid in the 250s. Hasn't weighed sub 240 or sub 250 since he fought Usyk 3 years ago. And bear in mind, he would have went into camp fully intending to be mobile, speed. He would have spent 3, maybe 4 months working on, what's an ideal weight for that, working on this, that, and the other. So it's not like, a crash diet for the Usyk fight or anything like that. And AJ is someone who loves the resistance training. That seems to be the main thing that he does. And outside of camp, he probably would have thought he was fighting Cassius Chaney, which is the name that a lot of people have.
Former super middleweight champion Carl Froch offers his view on why this fight makes sense for Joshua. Froch points out that Joshua is entering the late stage of his career, having already achieved world titles, big stadium fights, and major pay-per-view events. Froch sees the Jake Paul fight as a smart financial move that still grabs global attention. He also mentions the potential for a fight against Tyson Fury afterward, which would remain one of boxing's biggest matchups. Froch doesn't criticize Joshua's choice. He sees it as a business decision at the right time, focusing more on money and entertainment than legacy.
Yeah. And for me, he's found his limit now, found his level. So now he needs to look at his health and look at what he's got after boxing. And if he can make 50 mil, whatever he's making, to fight fucking in the clown world against the clown show, do you know what I mean? Then take the money, man. Yeah. Take it and go and live your life. I can't see AJ fighting for a world title again. I don't know who he fights and who he would beat and how he would get that desire back to become a world champion. But Eddie Hearn's got to sell it and try and say AJ's going to be world champ again. 3-time world champ, but I'm not buying any of that bullshit. I think AJ's had a great career. He's done massive things for professional boxing, and now he's at the end of his career and he's cashing out. And who can blame him? I'd do exactly the same at the end of my career. I'd fight fucking Jake Paul for mega money and then drop the mic and then go home. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not going to knock him for doing it.
As much as you say that his career is maybe done after this, he has obviously made the jump, left Ben Davison, gone to Usyk. Do you think that could maybe reignite a flame in AJ? Maybe change something that you might not believe is there at the moment?
No, he's too old. Too old. I've been 36, 37 years old, but I've never had 150 million quid in the bank. Do you know what I mean? And I think the combination of his age, the fact that he's been flattened a couple of times, and now he's making mega money. Why is he going to try and become a world champion again? He's got to train for 10 weeks and spar really hard sparring. And then he's got to get in the ring on Fight Night with 10-ounce gloves against somebody like Dubois, or he's not going to fight Usyk again. Maybe he sticks around and fights Tyson Fury, because that's another commercial mega fight, which is actually fighting somebody who's on the same level.
Johnny Nelson, former cruiserweight champion and Sky Sports analyst, offers a different perspective. He focuses on what could happen to Jake Paul if he faces Joshua's power. Nelson highlights that even though Jake has improved, facing a former heavyweight champion is an entirely different challenge. Joshua's punching power is far beyond what Jake has experienced. Nelson warns that one wrong moment could have serious consequences for Jake's health and career.
For AJ, I'm stuck in betwixt and between, because nobody on this green earth would actually turn down 50, 60 million to fight Jake Paul. And people that don't like this will probably watch it because they want to see Jake Paul getting knocked out. So what does it say about AJ and what does it say about Jake Paul? I think I was thinking upside down. For AJ, I thought, Mama's cashing out. He's cashing out because he's going down this mimic line. But I thought, in reality, is he? Realistically, he's thinking, you know what? This big mouth YouTuber stroke boxer has the cheek to call me out. I'd be pissed off at that, if I'm honest with you. I'd be upset if I was AJ, thinking, that's disrespect, man. You think you can deal with me? But he didn't. AJ was jovial and he commended Jake Paul's business acumen, saying, you know, we've sat down, the deal's been done. But still, it just leaves an odd taste in your mouth. So as long as AJ gets the job done, and I mean gets the job done, shows his world-class pedigree, and wipes this boy out, then everybody's happy. But how does it enhance his career? The only way it enhances his career is financially. That's it. No other way. There's no props from beating Jake Paul, apart from saying, thank God you shut him up. For Jake Paul now, I got to give this boy props, because he now has our attention and the whole world is talking about Jake Paul. I want to say a big thanks to our sponsors, Bet Goodwin, for supporting That Boxing Show. Now, if you're interested in having a little flutter, or as I call it after my dad, Benji's Bets, Bet Goodwin's the place to be. Check out Bet Goodwin using the QR code on the screen. I'm probably all right. I'm probably 90% thinking the fight's going to happen. But I'm struggling. I'm thinking, this boy can't be so stupid. But then you hear a whisper. You hear a whisper that Jake Paul himself might be cashing out. Because the big purses that he's pulling, you know, fighting these has-beens or ex-fighters, you know, they're dropping slowly but surely. So maybe, just maybe, this might be his last fight. Getting in there with Anthony Joshua and getting knocked out. But there's always that conspiracy theory. Are there some contract agreements that can and cannot be done, which will never see the light of day, that we don't know about? Well, if you're an ex-fighter and if you like the fight game, you'll see fake. You'll know fake when you see it. So if there's any of that fakery going on with this, pulling a shot, taking it easy, giving man a bit of a breather, especially coming from AJ.
Rising heavyweight Jared Anderson is playing a key role in Joshua's preparation. Known for his explosive power and fast style, Anderson keeps Joshua on his toes during sparring. His constant pressure helps Joshua sharpen reflexes, improve defense, and react to unexpected situations. Training with someone aggressive and fast ensures Joshua is ready for any challenges Jake Paul might present. Even though Jake is smaller, this kind of preparation builds confidence and timing.
Jake Paul is being dwarfed by these way bigger heavyweights like Jared Anderson, Frank Sanchez, and Lawrence Okolie. Okolie is like 6'4.5", 6'5", and these guys are like 6'3", 6'4", probably. So now Jake Paul is the one that's smaller. So first of all, I will give credit to Jake Paul. Clearly, he's a person who is taking his career seriously. These are quality sparring. I mean, a real boxer, because people say he's not a real boxer, but a real boxer would be using the same guys in their sparring camp. In fact, I just told you Joshua used Lawrence Okolie. I don't know if he sparred with Anderson or Frank Sanchez, but these are all regular ranked heavyweights. So credit to Jake Paul for that. And I mean, he's going to need it. Joshua is a different breed to, like, you know, a Mike Perry when it comes to boxing. Different frame, different size. In case you didn't believe me, right? Jake Paul, this is what MVP Promotions posted. So Jake Paul top sparring, right? Heavyweights. And here's some pictures of Joshua with Lawrence Okolie. And again, Joshua, a big dude, but you see Lawrence Okolie, and he probably was cruiserweight back then. I mean, I don't know exactly when this picture was taken, but he's only like an inch shorter than Anthony Joshua. And now, as he's moved up to the full heavyweight, he has filled out more. You see, he looks even bigger than when he was a cruiserweight. Now, I got to research it, but I want to say I thought Lawrence Okolie was injured, but again, I'm not his doctor.
Joshua recently commented on Francis Ngannou turning down the chance to fight Jake Paul, calling it a questionable decision. He explained that such offers are rare, especially for fighters not yet established. Missing the payday could mean losing an opportunity that won't come again. MMA analyst Chael Sonnen agreed, saying Ngannou should have taken it. He noted that Jake Paul's fights offer exposure and financial rewards rarely seen outside mainstream boxing.
Ngannou does not take the fight against Jake Paul. Anthony Joshua takes the fight against Jake Paul. Anthony Joshua at the press conference gets asked his opinion of Francis not taking the fight against Jake Paul. And Joshua's like, he's an idiot. He's an idiot. There is no reason for him to not take this match. I cannot be and am not mad at Francis. I can't be. Like rules would preclude me from being upset with Francis. I'm not a big Francis fan. Francis fan. I'm not a Francis supporter. So I want to hurt Francis. I want to do something to hurt him. Well, his own actions took $10 million out of his bank account, of which, by the way, could use $10 million. So I can't be mad at him. If I teased him, and by God, get in there and he go, oh my gosh, I heard Chael and I heard from all the Eagles and what was I thinking? And Joshua's out and this is my chance of redemption. Hey, put me in, Jake. That would then help him. That would be positive for Francis. That would create envy as well as jealousy from outside observers like me. But I will tell you, trying to break down and understand how we got to this conclusion is mind-boggling. You ever met a writer? Your whole life, have you ever met a writer? Maybe went to college for it and they're a writer. Do you want to know the hardest thing in the world that person's going to have to do to make money? Find somebody to pay them to write. It's very...
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates, and see you next time.